look like leaves. The use of an animal's shape, color, and the posture of its body to make it look like an object instead of an animal is called protective resemblance. This kind of imitation is the most common method of camouflage among lower animals, particularly insects. Others, like the ambush bug, resemble flowers or other parts of the plants on which they lurk. A walking stick looks like another twig on the branch. The measuring worm or looper looks like a smooth-barked twig. And its resting pose carries out this deception. The praying mantis resembles a leaf with stems. Certain flies masquerade as bees, which are protected by stingers. This robber fly looks like a bumblebee. Many harmless flower flies mimic wasps. Most butterflies of the Basilarchia group have black wings. But one species, the viceroy, differs greatly from its close relatives to imitate the monarch, one of the milkweed butterflies. All these milkweed feeders have such an offensive taste that the theory is any bird who has once tasted a monarch avoids all orange butterflies, including the tasty viceroy. All out-of-doors lighting is from above. An object of a single color appears flat when lighted from the side, but sunlight from above makes it seem lighter than it actually is on top and darker below. Therefore, a fish is shaded from dark on top to light below to counteract the natural shadows on its body. Some animals, like the Nile catfish, normally rest upside down. These may have reverse countershading. The larva of the common Cecropia moth also demonstrates this reverse countershading. Though countershading is the rule, some animals do not need this protection. Opossums, for example, because they are most active at night. And underground dwelling animals like the mole. The spider monkey is not countershaded because he's acrobatic and often exposes his underside to the light. Big animals which have no enemies, like the black bear, do not need to hide. Nor do those which are well defended. Nobody's going to pick a fight with a porcupine anyway. A plain white background makes an effective contrast with almost any object placed upon it. It is therefore a most trying situation in nature when survival may depend on keeping out of sight. In summer, many northern animals, like the ptarmigan, wear the earth-colored coat typical of ground-dwelling animals. But during the fall, they gradually change to a tweed topcoat, and by winter have solved the problem of hiding against snow by putting on a pure white coat. A countershaded animal is hard to see only against an unpatterned background of the same general color, such as water, open sky, and sand. Arid country like our western plains and deserts is a kind of unpatterned background. Here there's little vegetation, and the scenery has a light tan appearance. Prairie dogs are typical animals of these dry, bare areas. They match the prairie soil in which they dig their homes. Animals of the arid west generally have a faded appearance in comparison with their eastern relatives. The jackrabbit is much sandier looking than the rabbits of the woodlands. Darker vegetation, with its greater contrast of light and shadow, is matched by the sharply marked eastern chipmunk. While the western variety looks as if the sun had faded its markings to match the light soil and dry vegetation of its arid surroundings. Similarly, eastern species of rattlesnake are much darker than the sidewinder of the desert, which has even developed a special way of traveling for life on the loose sand. Striking differences in closely related animals often accompany variations in natural backgrounds, even in small areas like the dunelands. The sand grasshopper, which lights on the open sand of dune slopes, is a close neighbor of this dark grasshopper, which always chooses a landing field in the ground litter of adjoining wooded patches. Their different appearance is proof of adaptation to environment. Many open water birds, like gulls, are shaded from slaty gray above to white below. Looking down on the gull, its dark back blends with the dark water. Looking up at the flying gull, its light underside blends with the light sky. Fish are also countershaded to flatten them against their background when viewed from the side. When looking up, the white underside blends against the bright sky. When looking down, the dark back blends with the darker tones of the water and lake bottom. Camouflage doesn't work under all conditions. Otherwise, no flesh-eating animal would ever get anything to eat. This is